Good evening and welcome everyone to this wonderful forum. We're very happy to welcome and meet you all virtually today. I'm Navleen Bali and I'm pursuing Soil's flagship one-year PGPM program. I also have my batchmates with me, Ishita, Sri Lakshmi and Rohan for the webinar today. So basically for today's session, we'll be taking you through our rationale behind choosing a one-year MBA program as opposed to a two-year traditional one. And I hope it gives you guys some perspective and, makes your decision-making process a lot more easier. I'll first start with the agenda of today's webinar, and then we can probably take this whole thing further. Yeah. So for the agenda, we will begin the webinar with an introduction session where all the panelists, including myself, will introduce ourselves and will cover what were our reasons for joining SOIL. Post that, we will cover the benefits of joining a one-year program, along with some of the myths that are associated with it. Moving ahead, we will also cover what SOIL has to offer and talk about the PGPM program that we here at SOIL have, and also the scholarship and funding options associated. And at the end, we will we will cover some of your questions and queries that you would like to ask each one of us. And for that, I will request everyone to feel free to jot down whatever queries or questions you might have as we present the whole session on the PPT to all of you. And then by the end, during the Q&A session, we can probably take each question one-on-one. Okay, so with this, we will start with the introduction session. I'll begin with introducing myself. So my name is Navleen Bali, and I'm pursuing a one-year PGPM program here at SOIL. I'm majoring in marketing here. Prior to this, I have a professional work experience. I'm sorry, guys, is my internet okay?
Yeah, Navleen, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, thanks. All right, so yeah, I have a work experience of close to 3 years in operations management in the edtech industry. Prior to that, I have an academic background in life sciences with a degree from the University of Delhi. From being a very different background, what got me into management was my participation in the placement cell of my undergrad college. And that was when I kind of felt that I was kind of deviating towards a management degree. And it was back then when I decided that, somewhere down the line, I would like to pursue an MBA. I'll be talking about why I joined a one-year program as opposed to a two-year. So just briefly taking you through two of the major factors that I considered. One was because I have had a certain amount of experience under my belt. I wanted to cash upon that, and I felt that a one-year accelerated program would be the right fit for a candidate like me. And the second reason of joining a one-year program was that I realized it was important for me to be part of a class structure where everybody else had some sort of a work experience. And so that the learning experience was not just through the classes that we took, but also by the discussions that we had throughout the session. So that these were the 2 points, primary factors that I considered while opting for SOIL. Over to the other panelists to briefly introduce themselves and also talk about why they joined SOIL.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ishita. So nice to see you all here. I'll just very quickly deep dive into my work ex. It's as diverse as it is interesting. I have about 3 years of experience. And in these 3 years, I've worked across two industries, EdTech and tourism. Prior to that, for my undergrad, I hold a degree in political science, which I pursued at the University of Delhi. And yes, like Navleen, my work and my academic experience is also very diverse. And coming to why soil, so the reason to why soil and why MBA, the reason to join an MBA was actually after the pandemic. I have worked in the tourism industry for most of my professional journey, and that is the time when I realized that, okay, I need to learn skills and subjects which are relevant across dynamic times such as the pandemic post in front of us. So that was my reason to join a one-year MBA. Also, very similar to what Navleen said, I feel that after having a certain amount of work experience, after having certain amount of experience in the industry, you are able to manage a one-year program without having it affect your output. So all of us, we are able to manage the pressures that come with it without having it affect our productivity, the kind of work we deliver. So yeah, that is the reason. And of course, why soil? There are several reasons, but to name a few, the kind of strategic location that soil has, the kind of curriculum that soil has, it's very relevant to what the industry expects from you after an MBA. So yeah, that's my story. Thank you.
Yes. A very good evening, everyone, and it's wonderful to see you all in here. So I'm Sri Lakshmi. So for me, my education background, I have completed my BTech in Electronics and Communication from Kerala University. And post completing my BTech, I have joined Tata Consultancy Services. And initially, I was working as a technical consultant. I was a developer there for Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So after working for 2 years, I realized I have an inclination towards management side. And so I was very grateful that my organization also helped me work with that. So I joined the learning and development team. So I was working as a talent development specialist there for 2 years. So after working for 4.5 years in total, I realized it's time for me to dive in deep and go through a professional curriculum and understand more into the management courses to have more relevant, industry relevant information to get in through. And that's when I've decided to join MBA course. So why soil and why MBA, 1-year MBA program? So just like both of my batchmates just mentioned. So with the 4.5 years of relevant experience, I believe that 1-year program, the accelerated program would be much more relevant for me than a 2-year program. And also one more thing that struck me real hard was that just like you have heard, Ishita and Navleen, both of them have a very diverse experience. So in an industry, when you're working with different clients, it's really important that we understand their background and work with them. So one very special feature of soil is that we have people from different backgrounds, from consulting, from tourism, from banking. So it's like, it's a real mix of a group of people in here and get to learn from them. The peer learning factor is something that is really important for me. So that's the reason why I thought I'll join soil with all the curriculum, all the consortium that is related to soil, and also the pillars of soil, which is very relevant, which we will take you through in the upcoming slides as well. So yeah, this is for me, and that's why I've joined soil. Yeah, over to Rohan.
Good evening, everyone. Good to see you here. I am Rohan Bhatt. I have a total of 4.5 years of work ex. I did my graduation from Delhi University. I'm a BCom honors graduate. Then I did my MCom honors from Delhi University. After that, I joined American Express. I hold a total of 4.5 years of experience with them. This experience basically started with sales and upselling. Later on, I moved to learning and development space. After working 4.5 years, I realized my epistemic needs were not getting satisfied, and there was a lot more that I wanted to explore. So that's when the thought of MBA came in. But that was the time when COVID stuck and all the things happened. So I thought I would take a break. I went on to doing my own startup. It was an e-commerce startup. I'm also a freelance trader. Since I'm associated with finance, I've had that background. I was really keen and interested in learning more about stock market. So I also tried my hands on trading. And I also do that right now while I'm pursuing my course here. So now coming on to why 1 year, I was very keen on going back to workforce back again. As much as I wanted to learn, as much as I wanted to do this MBA, I was really looking forward to getting back to the workforce. So that was one of the key elements. And since I was in Gurgaon only, I had done my graduation from Delhi NCR. That sense of association was definitely here. In addition to it, the curriculum of SOIL was industry relevant, and the individual development program that we have at SOIL, it's not like a blanket approach for each and every individual as per their aspirations. There's a tailor-made course and a curriculum that gets designed for you. That kind of attracted me. And for SOIL, of all the many reasons, this was, I think, the main one for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you everyone for sharing your experiences and introducing yourself. Now we'll dive deep into the presentation. And we'll start with myths, and I think Ishita will take you through this. Over to you, Ishita.
Sure. Can we move on to the next slide, Navleen? Yeah, thank you. So, okay, like I mentioned, there are a lot of myths that are associated with an MBA. And the first of them is MBA is only for engineers. And I think myself, Navleen, and even Rohan for that matter, we can very well attest to the fact that that's not the case. Even though there are a lot of engineers in our class, I think we are able to deliver just as well as they are. I was, for example, a German language coach in my previous position. And now here today, I'm doing an MBA with a class that has engineers, that has CAs, that has consultants. So that's completely not the myth. And I think the best thing about the kind of mix that we have in our class is that we learn from each other. For example, we have CAs in our class. The kind of accounting knowledge and commerce knowledge that they have, we derive a lot of value from that. Then there are people from the EdTech, such as Navleen and myself, and that is a very booming space, right? So we are able to deliver a lot of insights about how the EdTech industry functions on that to our peers. So I think that is the best part about it. And, for all the non-engineers out there, please don't have any apprehensions. I think we are the living proof. Me and my colleagues are the living proof that that is not the case, right? And moving on, Navleen. Yeah, like, okay, 2-year MBA and 1-year MBA. Again, after having a lot of experience under our belt, for example, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, we also have classmates who have about 5 years of experience. Some have 2 years of experience. So, we are all very well able to manage the kind of expectations that a 1-year MBA has from us. And why we are able to do that is because we have worked in the industry. And you know how the kind of cutthroat expectations are there in the industry, the kind of cutthroat environment is there in the industry. So that, in a way, interestingly molds you for a 1-year MBA. So for anyone who has 2 years, 2 years work ex, 3 years work ex, I think this is the place for you. It makes a lot of sense to do a 1-year MBA. Why? Because you are a lot more equipped to follow the pace of a 1-year MBA, to handle the pressures of a 1-year MBA, and to deliver just as well as you would in a 2-year MBA. Moving on, Navleen. Second of all, okay, yeah, MBA is not essential. I think I can very safely say that it is in today's day and age. Why? Because more than a degree, it's the kind of experience that you derive out of an MBA. So here in SOIL, for example, we are learning subjects which are very relevant in today's time. For example, we have a course on digital marketing. We have a course on digital transformation where we are learning a lot about ML and AI, etc. Right? We are learning Python, Tableau, and Power BI. Now, these are all courses apart from, of course, the traditional finance, marketing, analytics, etc. Now, these are courses which will have relevance across industries and across changing times, right? Especially the kind of atmosphere, the kind of corporate atmosphere that we are venturing in right now. Right. So it's the degree is as essential as the experience, I would say, and the learning that you derive from it and the kind of person it molds you to be. For example, we've been in this course for about 4 to 5 months, and the kind of transition we see in ourselves in just 4 to 5 months is very massive, right? Then second, MBA is expensive. Of course, I think when we deep dive into more of the loan, etc. section, which my classmates will cover, you'll realize that that's not the case. It's very much manageable. And need a high score in CAT. Well, I'll tell you what, SOIL is a place where we focus more or if not more than just as much on emotional intelligence as we do on other competencies. For example, in the admission process of our PGPM, we focus more on the kind of profile that you have, the kind of work that you have done, the kind of person you are, as much as we do on grades, right? And we're accepting a lot of grades such as NMAT, CAT, etc. And also, given it's a profile-based selection, grades are also not essential in our selection process. It is your choice whether you want to put in your grades or you don't, right? What we focus more is on the kind of person you are, the kind of competencies you have, the kind of work you have done, right? So that is more what SOIL focuses on. And of course, a part-time MBA is fine. Well, I'll tell you what, the beauty lies in a full-time MBA. It's because you are working continuously on case studies, on competitions, on projects with your classmates, and alongside studying. So the kind of strength that gives you, and the kind of I would say experience that is a part-time MBA cannot give you. It kind of molds you in a person or in a professional that can do anything and everything, who can multitask, etc., etc. So yeah, I think that kind of an experience one can only get from a full-time MBA process. Over to the next slide, Naveen.
Yeah, thank you, Ishita.
Yeah.
Now I'll just address the elephant in the room, which is what are some of the benefits that you will get out of the 1-year PGPM program here at SOIL. And there are primarily 5 reasons that I'll take you through. And the first one, without any doubt, is the opportunity cost associated with it. And when I say opportunity cost, I don't only mean in terms of money, but I also mean in terms of the time that you are going to invest in this course. So for those of us who do not understand what an opportunity cost is, it is basically the cost of the second best alternative. So to just give you kind of a perspective, say I have an experience of 2 to 3 years, and I am choosing between 2 MBA courses with different tenures, say 1 or 2 years. And right now I'm earning, say, 5 lakh rupees. And the fee for a 2-year program is, say, 20 lakhs in total. So for me, the particular course will not just cost me 20 lakhs, but it will cost me 25, because I'm letting go of the 5 lakhs of salary that I could have earned in that particular year. And it sums up to 10 because it's 2 years involved. Whereas in case of a 1-year program, you're just letting go of 1 year salary. So the overall investment comes down. And in terms of time, also, you are, going to quickly get back to your career. So that will help you, bring down the opportunity cost in terms of time as well. So this is pretty much one of the most important factors that I'm sure all 4 of us kind of, had in the back of our minds when we chose a 1-year program as opposed to a 2-year program. A second most important reason which I feel helps in this whole process is that within a year, you are going to go back to your workplace with an accelerated career and, with a salary hike. So that is something that is also one of the factors that most people consider. While I believe that an MBA is not just about the salary that you are going to draw out of the course, it's just overall holistic professional and personal development that you go through in this 1 year of time. But then if, you're essentially just looking at the monetary benefits, I feel that, with less, you get more out of it. The third reason, which I feel in my case was really, really important, was the network that a 1-year program with experienced candidates will give you. So, when you are in a course where you have 100 odd people with 100 odd careers and, professional backgrounds, you're adding a lot of people in your professional pool of network. So this is something that you will leverage not only, for the early bit of your career, but throughout your career. And, as there's a popular saying in management that your network is your net worth. So I'm sure a 1-year MBA program will really help you with that, because you have people with diverse backgrounds that can help you in different stages of your professional career. And of course, it's a mutual thing when there might be instances where you might be also able to help your colleagues. So that's there. And the fourth point that I'd like to cover here is the career switch aspect. So this is a really interesting part, because a lot of people have apprehensions as to, I have a very different academic background, or I have a very different, say, professional background. So will I be able to make that switch? So I'll start with my own example. I have, I've graduated in life sciences, and then I went on to work in operations. And that's when I kind of realized that marketing was something that interested me. So I wanted to make that career switch. And that was essentially why I joined Soil. And I knew that, this program will kind of help me make that switch. And if I talk about a lot of people, there are people who come from an engineering background and they switch into finance or marketing or say HR roles for that matter. There are also cross-functional shifts, like people from HR shifting into marketing and vice versa. So we have all of them in our batch. And it's really rich, it's really diverse, and it's only possible when you kind of go through this one-year program and kind of realize that, a career switch is not that big of a problem. And you can actually very seamlessly transition from wherever you are today and to wherever you want to be, say 1 year after you complete the course. And this brings me to the focused curriculum, which is essentially the backbone of whatever we're covering today. Say whatever opportunity costs that you're going to derive, and the career switch that you're going to, with this entire course will enable you to take will only be possible because of the curriculum that is taught here. And the interesting part, as I think Ishita already covered, I will not bore you with that, but then it's very industry relevant. And it's not just the theoretical methodologies or framework that are taught, but rather a very case study oriented approach. So that kind of help build perspective. And also because you have people from diverse backgrounds, so each case study helps open, a different arena for you, and you kind of analyze things from a different, places, and you kind of have a bird's eye view when you work on a very industry relevant curriculum. So with this, I think these are the primary factors which are important and which kind of help us in a 1-year MBA program. So with this, over to my colleagues.
Yes. So the next question, just like we all discussed, the next question that usually comes to our mind when we are thinking of joining a college, maybe be it a PGPM or PGDM program, the next question would be why Soil? So if you have to choose Soil, what are the reasons why you should go for it? So let us take you through the reasons why we have chosen Soil over the other colleges. So School of Inspired Leadership, as the name says, Soil is very keen in developing the leadership qualities of students. There are special focus in building and developing our soft skills along with the leadership qualities by aligning it with the 5 pillars of Soil. So mainly we have 5 pillars which has been designed to Soil. Those are mindfulness, sustainability, ethics, diversity, and compassion. And also we have focus sessions on self-leadership, specialized leadership conferences, leadership series by industry leaders. These are some of the focus areas which have been done by Soil to enhance the leadership skills of the students in here. And also the major focus is not just for of making leaders, but also we ensure that we are making impactful leaders who are industry relevant. So when we are in the industry, we will be known for that. And Soil is well known for its alumni base as well. So we have a very strong alumni who are working in different leadership positions. And they are in all around across India or across globe as well. So this is one of the reasons why we have chosen Soil. So I would invite my batchmates to explain the other reasons as well.
Hi. So I'm going to take up the other reasons. Elaborating on Shree's point about the alumni base, we have a very rich alumni base. We have alumni in the Big Four. We also have alumni in the Big Three, which are McKinsey, Bain, BCG, and even Carney. for example. So that is, and we have regular sessions with them, and they tell us what are the skills that we require to be in the positions that they currently hold. They tell us what is the roadmap to the kind of positions that they have. So those are very valuable and very important sessions, and we derive some very great value from them, because I think to hearing things from the horse's mouth itself is the most effective means, right? Then talking about, of course, the CTC, our average, it was 11 for the 2022 batch, and the highest was 19. Right. And of course, industry relevant curriculum. Like I said, we have courses on, so for example, in our finance course, we have portfolio management, which for traders like Rohan here, who are interested in that, that is a very relevant aspect of our learning. Right. And even for, we have courses on our personal wealth management. That is, I think, relevant for all of us here, because once you start earning, you need to know how effectively you can manage your wealth. Right. Then we have courses in marketing, like brand management, etc. Right. B2B marketing, which is very essential, right? And of course, they're all case study based, and our case studies are very, very new, very, very relevant. We have case studies on companies like Boat, Netflix, etc. That is the companies, the products and services of the companies that we use. So they're very relatable that way. And of course, I think maybe Rohan would want to take the next points.
Thank you, Shita. And I think to what Ishita to add to what she just mentioned, in addition to the industry relevant curriculum, the project and the assignments that we get, like if you talk about the recent one that we did, it was about wealth management. It was not just limited to imagining a hypothetical fund and just investing it. It was more about how would you do it? If it was your money, how would you invest it? That gives you a personal sense that, yes, how would I do it? And also great learning comes along with that. Also, a few of the unique points that we have at SOIL is internal and external mentorship program that gives us an opportunity. Like for me, since I'm inclined towards BFSI sector and I come from banking operation, my mentors here and my teachers, they understood the need and they aligned me with the internal mentor, who's Dr. Nithika Batra. She was in investment banking unit of SBI Capital. She also had her boutique investment bank. And my external mentor is a ex-Deutsche Bank director. So they understood my need and they've aligned me to both the mentors. They can guide me in the correct way that how to move forward. Also, in a timely manner, we keep on getting information about the new things that are happening in the industry, the new certifications that we can take, which would help us leverage this learning. In addition to this, another unique thing that we have, this was all about industry and how you connect with them. We also deep dive into the other side of the world. We have a SIP program, which is very unique to SOIL, wherein we have 32 partnering NGOs who work with us, and they work in pretty much all the fields. You name it, you'll have it. Like for me, I'm working in NGO of Dr. Kiran Bedi. Now, we all know her. That NGO is very close to her. In fact, that NGO operates from her own farmhouse in Gurgaon. And getting to learn from these people, their ideology, and all these things give us a brief understanding and helps in our overall development. Thank you. I think Shri will take from here.
Thank you, Rohan. I'll take the last point, which is one of the, I would say, primary. Is my connection unstable? Is it okay? Great. All right. So I'll take you to the last point, which is also one of the USPs of SOIL, which is their consortium partners. So the entire curriculum at SOIL is built in association with certain consortium partners that we have. I think Dabur is one of them. So there are also another 36 which are available on our website. So interested students can go and check them out. So how this helps us is that in terms of stakeholders, we have industry experts. We have, in terms of faculty, we have a lot of, academic guidance. And then we also, as Rohan mentioned, some of the NGOs that help us, kind of understand how nonprofit organizations work. So that way, the entire ecosystem is very diverse. And this is how you kind of draw the best out of each stakeholders. And that's how you kind of develop in each arena of management, because, you want to develop not just as a manager, but as a leader. And that is what, Soil focuses and emphasis on a lot. So this is how their training programs kind of help each candidate develop professionally as well as personally. So with this, I think we've pretty much covered why soil. Now we will move on to the programs offered and also to the scholarship and funding options. So would somebody like to take this up?
Yeah, I can talk about the PGPM program, Navleen. So the PGPM program is for those who have 2 or 2+ years of work experience, right? And the kind of the specializations that we offer in that is marketing, analytics, and finance. And apart from that, you can also choose your minors. For example, I am majoring in marketing and my minor is analytics. Similarly, for Rohan, he's majoring in finance and his minor is analytics. So you can choose whatever option you feel is fit for the kind of career goals that you have, right? And this is, like I mentioned, for those who have 2 and 2+ years of work ex. So for example, in our batch, we have people who have 2, 3, 4, even 5, 6 years of work experience, right? So whatever amount of work experience you have, there is a place for you. There is a place for you at Soil here. And then I think Shri can talk about the PGPM in HR.
Yes, thank you, Ishita. So about the 1-year PGPM in HR program, just like Ishita mentioned, so most of the students here in the PGPM in HR program, most of them have experience. And also there is one additional factor regarding the PGPM in HR program is that you don't need work experience as well. So just like the other program for the PGPM BLP, Business Leadership Program, we need 2 years of work ex, whereas for the PGPM HR, you needn't have work experience as well. So I think I've seen one question regarding the change in career shift. So most of the students here in PGPM HR courses are from different domains. People are from construction background, banking background. They are also from the IT technical background as well, who are planning or who are wishing to move to an HR domain. And this program is particularly meant for those who are planning to shift their career from any other domain to HR domain. And just like our program, this is also a 1-year program, and the rest of it remains same, but we do not have any minors. It's just HR as a major program. Just HR is there for us. Yeah, that's it for that program.
Yeah, thank you, Ishita and Shri. Just to highlight one important point in HR, which is that the work experience per se is not required. So in our current batch, I think we have 2 students who have no work experience at all, but they are doing fairly well in their program. So if at all you do not have an experience, I think, and you want to pursue a degree in HR, I think there are no inhibitions. You can very well apply even without a work ex. With this, we will dive into the scholarship and funding options at Soil. And I think Shri and Rohan.
Yeah. Yes, Navleen, thank you. So the other question that usually pop up would be what are the scholarship and funding options that are available for joining the college. So Soil do have a very unique feature of providing scholarship, and that too we'll see certain scholarship are very unique to Soil. So I'll just brief you through the what are the available options of scholarships that are available for Soil, and maybe Rohan can take you through the loan and funding options. So the first one to go through would be the need-based scholarship. So most of the scholarship, all the scholarship are up to 2 lakhs. So there will be a waive in the fees that you would be paying in. So the first one, the need-based scholarship is for applicants with family income, excluding the applicant income, is less than 10 lakhs per annum. So anyone who would need a support for that can apply for the need-based scholarship while you're registering for the course. The second one is merit-based scholarship. This is for the exceptional students with proven track records in your academics. So it's a weighted average which is being taken across your academics, which is between 82 and above 82 is considered to be good. And also students working with government organizations or PSUs are also eligible to apply for the same. Also, your extracurricular activities are also taken into consideration while you are applying for the merit-based scholarship. So same, just like need-based scholarship, the amount would be up to 2 lakhs. The next is very special and unique scholarship that's been provided by Soil, that is Captain Vikram Batra Scholarship. This is mainly for the students from armed force background or also students whose parents have been serving the Defense Service of India. So those students can apply for the same and also will get a waiver of up to 2 lakhs in your total fees. The next one would be outstanding work in NGOs or Teach for India scholarship. So students who were a full-time employer of any registered NGO or any non-profit organization or working for a social cause can register for the same. You can show your proof records where you were working in these organizations. So here also you'll get up to 2 lakhs as a waiver. The next unique scholarship for SOIL would be Women in Leadership Scholarship, which for all the women who have done exceptional work in or who have been working in any leadership roles in your previous organization can definitely apply for this particular scholarship. And the last one is Earn While You Learn. So this is more like a research assistantship program. So just like you will be working part-time for a SOIL along with your curriculum. So you will be studying as well as you'll be working as a research assistant. All the other scholarship also involves to be part of the research assistant program. You will be working under either marketing domain, finance domain, or as part of consulting team. So you will be supporting the SOIL team in working with that. So it's more like an internship that you're receiving along with that. So Earn While You Learn program, you will be receiving 10,000 per month. So there is no waiver in your fees. Rather, you will be receiving 10,000 per month, more or like a salary. So selection will be mainly based on all the selections, scholarship selection will be mainly based on your performance during your PI, that is personal interview. And also the other criteria that you need to follow for getting selected or receiving the scholarship is that you'll have to submit all the proof of documents which are relevant to the scholarship that you're applying to. And also a statement of purpose, which you will see while you're registering for the course. So all these two are really mandatory for applying for that. So ensure that you are writing the need why you're applying for the scholarship and also attaching all the relevant proof documents showing that you are eligible for applying the same. Yeah. Over to Rohan for the funding options.
Thank you, Shri. All right. So once you're through the interview process, the offer letter that you get, that comes along with all the information, the required information, including the fees breakup, the banking partners. So speaking of the banking partners, all the education loan that you get for this one-year education program, you can get up to 100% fees. You can get that approved as a loan. Plus, you can also get your living expenses if you wish to get that. Our partners include like Avance, HDFC, Axis Bank, Credence, GradRight, and Aditya Birla. These are our partners. The best part is the offer letter would have all the required information, the contact number, the point of contact, and these people are just one phone call away. Just call them, just share your offer letter. Within a week or so, all the requirements will be taken care of and they will take care of your fees. Additionally, the loan amount is just not limited to getting from these banks only. You can also, let's say, if you know someone in any other bank, you can very well get in touch with them and just share your offer letter and you can get your loan approved from any other bank also. So I think that was all about the loan.
All right. Thank you, Shri and Rohan, for taking us through the scholarship and funding options. With this, we come to the end of our presentation, and now we are open to the questions or any queries that our participants might have. I'll start with a few questions posted on the chat box, so probably one of us can take that up. All right. So the first question is, my name is Rakesh Ranjan, and I'm 36 years old, and I want to pursue one-year MBA. Presently, I'm working in Union Bank of India. I have previously done Masters of Labor Laws and Labor Welfare. My question is, can I switch from finance to HR? What are the job prospects? So one of you can take it up.
Yeah. Hi, Rakesh. Very interestingly, we have someone in our HR cohort who has a very similar profile that you have. He's also, I think, around the same age and also has quite a massive experience in trading, right? And now he's doing HR. So yes, that's very well possible. And I think that is the reason why a lot of students go for an MBA, to make that switch. You know, you are, for example, you were in finance, and I think if you think that you have extracted all the value from finance that you could have, and now you want to explore something new. So that is very well possible through our MBA program. And there are people who have very similar background as you who are doing this already. So that's very much possible.
Yeah, just adding to what Tishita just mentioned, we do have a couple of students who are from the LLB. They were lawyers as well. So we have a student who is also having a similar experience, who is a lawyer. And also we have people from the construction background as well, who have joined in and want to they are looking forward to join us in HR. So yeah, definitely, just like Ishita mentioned, it is an option, and definitely you can opt for that option.
Great. So I think this answers your question. And we have another question in the chat box. So I'll just read that out. So there's this participant who says, I am having 5 years of experience in transport operations. How many chances can I get for placement in operation related companies? All right. So Rohan, do you want to take this up?
Certainly. So if you have 5 years of working experience, that gives you enough exposure of one industry. And I think most of the people who are here, they're looking for some kind of switch. Like for myself, I'm switching from learning and operation to finance. So I think it's very much possible and absolutely doable. You should definitely go for it.
Right. And in fact, to add to Rohan's point, even myself, I'm shifting from an operations background and seeking a marketing role. So I think that's very well possible. And that's essentially why you take up an MBA for, you know, if you want to kind of switch your career, MBA is a right choice. So I think a 1-year MBA program will essentially help you make this career shift. And yeah, that's what.
I'll add a point to that. Bharat, you're talking about how many chances you can get for placements. So last year, there were around 80 to 85 students in our BLP cohort, and 92 companies had participated. So when it comes to placement opportunities, there are ample opportunities for all the students in BLP and HRLP. So don't worry about that. There will be ample opportunities for you.
Thank you, Ishita. This reminds me that all 4 of us consequently happen to be part of the placement committee of our college. So if you guys have any questions related to placements, feel free to put that in the chat box. I'm sure we'll be able to help you with it. Yeah, so, okay, so we have another question which says, how will soil help me build my leadership skills? So that's a very interesting question.
Yeah, maybe I'll take it through. So regarding the leadership skills that we have already discussed previously, so we do have multiple learning programs in here. Self-leadership is something that even our founder, Mr. Ranil Sachdev, is taking us through. So that is a very relevant course with respect to the industry experience that we need, and how should we analyze ourselves to be a better leader next time. So that is something that is a major focus in this particular program. Along with that, we have something called leadership series, wherein we will be exposed to a platform wherein multiple industrial leaders will be coming in and taking us a session. There are also other leadership training programs. Along with that, we do have special focus on improving our soft skills. So there is a course on business skills as well. So these are certain things that will help us through all the program. And considering our placement, which is one of the major factors in here, there are special focus which is being given to both GD as well as personal interview. So when we are considering this leadership skills, leadership positions being in the industry, so this will be majorly measured during our personal interviews that we are going in to give through all the industries. So soil ensures that all these points are being in place and also are in check before we go to placements as well. So continuous GDs have been given to all the students, and also mock personal interview with the industry leaders is also another thing. Along with that, internal and external mentoring programs. With internal mentoring program is something that we have with our faculties and also the alumni. External mentoring program, it's something that we are connected with the industry leader. So if I would like to say about my external mentor, he's an MD of GCS Solutions. He is working in the marketing field. So since I am inclined towards marketing, just like Rohan said, based on our expertise and experiences, we are being tagged with external mentors who are industry experts, who are giving us ample opportunities to understand. We are working with them to understand how they are functioning as well. So there are a lot of things that we are getting help from SOIL. And I think this answers the question here. Anyone wants to add anything more to this?
No, I think she pretty much summed it up very well. Yeah. So we have another very interesting question. So I'll just read that out. I have 3 years of experience in US recruitment industry, but wanted to switch my career for different sectors within human resource. Wanted to know, wanted to know if placements for PGPM HR will be mostly focused on recruitment or other sectors of HR as well, such as HR analyst, HR operation, training and development, etc. Thank you. All right, so I think I can take this question up. This is very interesting. So since you already have an experience of 3 years and you're looking for a course in HR, I think SOIL is, potentially a great choice that you can consider. And if you talk about the recruitment options and the kind of profiles for HR, I think it's very diverse. And, we have profiles which entail HR analysts, HR operations, and I think for that matter, we also have HR BP roles, which is HR business partner roles that come to our campus. And some of the companies that hire for HR function include Michael Page and Mahindra, and these are the names that come to my mind. And if anybody else in the panel can add to that names, that would be great. But then in terms of opportunities, you can be rest assured there will be ample amount of companies visiting with diverse type of profiles. So the key right here is to kind of build your profile in a way that you are picked by the organizations, because oftentimes we focus on what are the kind of companies that are coming and what are the kind of roles that are there. But then if you are well prepared and you have ticked all the checkbox, I think any company, any profile will, any company would be more than happy to take you. So I hope that answers your question. If anybody else wants to add anything here, or else I will move to the next question. Okay, so we have another question which says, what is the batch strength for PGPM in SOIL? Yeah, so it's around 104 right now, the overall batch size. And then we segregate into the HR specialization and the BLP specialization. So BLP stands for Business Leadership Program. We have 3 specializations under BLP, which is marketing, finance, and analytics. And then we have an HRLP program focused primarily on HR. I am not very sure of the numbers, but I am assuming that around 40 students are a part of the HRLP program, and the rest of us are part of the BLP program. So that's pretty much the batch strength. And if you want to understand the diversity and the male-female ratio and all of that, you can probably log into our website, and everything is very clearly mentioned there.
Adding to your answer, Navleen. So yeah, like she said, the batch kind of gets segregated into BLP and HRLP. So depending on the specialization that you want to do, I think that number would make more sense. For that, for example, for BLP, like she mentioned, about 3/4 of the batches in BLP and the rest are in HRLP. Adding to the kind of, I'd really like to talk about the kind of diversity that all the 100 students here bring in, like we've also mentioned. For example, in the BLP, we have, like I said, we have people who are CAs, right? We in the HRLP, we have somebody who has pursued and practiced law, right? And then we have traders. So I think more, I mean, the number, what that number brings to the table is the kind of diversity, and not diversity in terms of the regions that we come from, not only that, but in the kind of skills that we possess. For example, I myself speak German very fluently. Another classmate of mine speaks French very fluently. So, you know, a lot of times after college, when we have some amount of free time, we try to sort of, there are students who want to learn German from me, there are students who want to learn German from French from her. So, you know, that is the kind of exchange of knowledge, the kind of transaction of skills that are happening because we are a batch of 100.
Thank you, Ishita. This reminds me that even I would love to, you know, kind of learn German from you probably by the end of the course. So with this, we move on to the next question, which is again, I think we've addressed it before, but there's another one who's asking. Adding to my previous question, is age a factor in getting admission? My age is 36. So, well, does anybody want to answer this? Or shall I take it?
I'll just say age is just a number.
Yeah.
Age is definitely not a factor for looking at the admission. We definitely look into the diversity that you bring in, the amount of experience that you bring in. Since you already have experience of finance, it'll be a great value add to the group. The banking experience holds a lot of value in the industry. So do not worry about age. That's definitely not any criteria or anything that would kind of bring your candidature down.
Yeah. Rakesh, to add to that, I think the oldest in our batch is around 35 years old. Yeah, so that's
Yes,
that's what it is. So don't worry. There's a place, like I said, there's a place for everyone here at Soil. So that's not at all, you know, a barrier or an obstacle in your journey here at Soil.
And I think this is a common question and insecurity that most people have. So I will further add to it that the batch here at Soil is very inclusive. So, you know, you will not feel out of place whatsoever. We have a lot of students who are above the age of 30, and they're probably more lively than we are. So, you know, that is not something that I think you should worry about. It's a journey that you kind of embark into to kind of develop yourself professionally and personally. And I don't think that age has any factor to play there. As long as you have a good, you know, honest approach towards learning, I don't think age in any way will be a barrier. And if you feel that you won't, I mean, you know, you'll feel out of place, then I think that is not the case, because I think all my batchmates can vouch for the fact that we're all very inclusive. We're all you know, always together through thick and thin, and the course itself is very rigorous. So, you know, there's no time to kind of feel out of place. You'll very well enjoy your time here at Soil. Okay, so I'll move on to the next question. Okay, so there's one common question that pops up, which is how different is a one-year program as opposed to a two-year program in terms of the curriculum and the kind of rigor that it entails? So I think this is an important question, and all of us can add to it.
Yeah. So considering the 1 year with respect to the 2-year program, so 2-year program would majorly cover up to 1,200 hours in the 2 particular years. And in 1-year program, we are doing this 1,200 years in 1,200 hours in just 1 year. So that is the difference that we have. So when we are considering the pace and the rigor in the program, definitely yes, 1-year program is really rigorous. So we will have to be on top of everything while we are doing the 1-year program. But that is the main reason why Soil 1-year PGPM program is looking for experienced professionals like you, me, and all of us. So we have already had this experience in the past, and we know how to handle this, and only we'll be able to cope up with this. So that's the reason, that's the main difference that I can think of right now between a 1-year PGPM program and the 2-year PGDM program. Apart from that, just like Navdeen and Nishita earlier mentioned, the opportunity cost that we are getting in here. So like a 1-year program, we are getting back to the industry in just 1 year. So we are gaining a lot from that. So that is also one added advantage of 1-year program. So having four or three plus years or 2+ years of experience, we are well versed with 1-year program than that of a 2-year program. So there is no need to dedicate your 2 years. Rather than that, you can complete your course in 1 year, and then you can go back to the industry and do that. So that is something very different and very unique in a 1-year program. Yeah. Yes, guys, maybe you can add in more to that.
Yes, Shri, thank you. Adding to that, I think because it is very exhausting, this 1-year program, that is what makes it very effective. So imagine previously, for example, in a 2-year program, in one day, you do X amount of tasks, right? X number of tasks. Here in a PGPM program, you're going to do X plus 10 amount of number of tasks in the same day. So imagine how effective you become in your approach, how the kind of time you take for every task will reduce, but your productivity remains the same, right? So you are able to multitask, and that makes you a more sought after professional than anybody else who's competing for that same position. So I think that is the greatest value addition that a 1-year program offers.
Thank you, Shri and Ishita, for answering this for us. I think we are at the top of the hour, so we can probably close the session here. If you guys have any other questions, probably all of us can drop in our email IDs in the chat box, and you can feel free to reach out to any one of us with your queries or questions that you felt you could not ask in the webinar today. With this, I would just invite everybody to, kind of sum this whole experience up and, share some tips or tricks briefly, maybe 1 or 2 tips that you would like to share with all the potential candidates that are looking for a 1-year PGPM program. So yeah, we can start with Rohan, I think. Let's make gents first this time.
So looking forward to it. Thank you, Navleen. So I'd say yes, you'll be up for a roller coaster ride. The highs will be really high, the lows will be really low. But at the end of the day, after 1 year, if you look back at yourself, you'll be a much better version. So I think give it your best shot and it'll be worth it. That's it. I'll keep it simple. Thank you.
Yeah, from me, I would say just be on top of things, guys. That's it. Like we have a lot of things, just like we discussed. So like we should be on top of things every time, every day. Be active, start doing things. Just don't stay behind. Whatever be. So just not just the curriculum. There are other competitions that are in as well. So be part of all the competitions. Be active, be fun, and yeah, I think enjoy the 1 year. That'll be worth it. Yes.
Yeah, I think they summarized it pretty well. One tip that I'd like to give, suggest for those who are trying to do a 1-year program, I think time management is key, guys, right? And of course, just, enjoy the ride, as I say, enjoy it, go with the flow. Don't take the lows too seriously, don't take the highs too seriously, just go with the flow, manage your time well, and I think that makes it very easy. Shishira has one question. I'll address it very quickly. Yes, there are a lot of our students in PGPM, HR as well as BLP who have taken internships and even live projects for that matter, so that is very much possible. We generally do this in our second trimester, where our courses sort of get divided. We start our specializations, and that is when we are suggested to take up internships and live projects. So yeah, that is very much possible. Thank you.
All right. So my quick tip would be something that I follow in my own personal life, which is, to kind of do the smart work, try and understand what are the key areas that you're strong at and the areas that you might want to improve, and, focus on that throughout your MBA journey. And just the kind of perseverance that an MBA requires is very, very important. So stay true to yourself and kind of just kind of be very, very dedicated and committed to the whole journey of personal development. And I'm sure each one of you, will come out of this program with flying colors. So that's the one tip that I would like to give. And yeah, with this, we wrap this session. I hope we were all able to help answer your queries. And as mentioned already, you can reach out to us on our email IDs. We've mentioned that in the chat box. And yeah, with that, thank you very much and all the best for your career decisions ahead.